What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And just a side note, this is the second time I am uploading this video because the first time I uploaded around like 30 minutes ago, there wasn't really any audio. There wasn't any audio at all to go along with it, so I put the blame on to my software that I record with. It just didn't tell me whether or not it changed the audio input, so when I uploaded the video, it just said this video has no audio to it, so came back to my room to reproduce this video. So to get back into it, breaking news out of the Philadelphia Phillies organization: outfielder Odubel Herrera has been arrested in Atlantic City for charges of domestic abuse against his girlfriend. And knowing that this is a really touchy subject and it's a really sensitive subject in the country these days, it's my opinion on it. It is just a really unacceptable thing to do, and it should not be tolerated. But knowing there are people in this world that are just cruel and evil, and these things happen, and sometimes it is hard to prevent against it, but it's still nonetheless, it is unacceptable, and it is inexcusable for people to do, especially sports players, because domestic abuse is becoming way too common within the sports leagues these days. Like recent NFL season, the Kansas City Chiefs, their running back was charged with domestic abuse, and he was suspended the rest of the season, and the team cut ways with him. So, is that what's going to happen to Odubel Herrera, pending what's going to happen? So, the news of Odubel Herrera, it broke about around 12-ish, 12:30-ish, on a report from NBC Sports Philadelphia. The article was written by Jim Salisbury and Corey Simon, and I'm going to read you guys the article just saying what really happened in detail. So, starts with: Phillies center fielder Odubel Herrera was arrested Monday night after a report of domestic violence. The alleged incident involved his 20-year-old girlfriend and took place at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, according to a police report. The police report also says that the victim had visible signs of injury to her arms and neck that was sustained after being assaulted by her boyfriend David Odubel Herrera during a dispute. Officials say she refused medical attention. Herrera was charged with simple assault and released on summons with a future court date. The Phillies confirmed this news in a statement Monday afternoon, saying that the team immediately reported the incident to Major League Baseball and adding that the league has placed Herrera on administrative leave. Herrera faces swift discipline under Major League Baseball's domestic abuse policy. If and when he is suspended, he would be placed on the restricted list. Discipline lies in the hands of the commissioner under MLB's recently instituted joint domestic violence policy between the union and the league. It is unclear where this is going, but a recent example involved Cubs shortstop Addison Russell, who was suspended 40 games without pay. Punishment does not include a player's contract being voided. Herrera is 27 years old, and he is in the third year of a 5-year, $30 million contract. The Phillies hold club options for the following 2 years, and this is the statement following the Phillies learning of this news. This morning, we are made aware of an alleged incident involving Odubel Herrera. Upon receiving this information, we immediately reported the incident to Major League Baseball, which has informed us that Herrera has been placed under administrative leave. The Phillies take any domestic violence accusation seriously and strongly support the joint domestic violence policy agreed upon by the MLB and the MLB Players Association. More details coming soon. So, Odubel Herrera has been accused of domestic abuse against his girlfriend, stating in the article that she was in clear signs. She had clear signs of injury to her neck and her arms. So, it's clear that something happened between the two people, and it's clear that there was some type of violence that was involved with Odubel Herrera and his girlfriend. So, like I stated before, this is something that is totally unacceptable. This is something that is inexcusable. It is completely stupid for someone to do. And like I said, it's just becoming way too common in the world of sports right now. Like I said with the Kansas City Chiefs, and there's just been way too many stories of domestic abuse with athletes in general over the past few years. I can barely state how many stories I've heard of domestic abuse with athletes and their specific other. So this is just one of those other cases where the athlete was being stupid and he took violence against his girlfriend over an argument, and it's just completely dumb on Odubel Herrera's part. It's completely unacceptable and it's inexcusable, and he should be punished for it. So, like I said, the article states that the MLB, Major League Baseball, and the Players Association are investigating this, and they put Odubel Herrera on administrative leave. So administrative leave for baseball basically means Odubel Herrera cannot report to the team. He cannot play baseball with the team. He cannot practice. He can't report anywhere with the team, basically. And he's doing this all while being paid. But once and if MLB decides when the investigation is over, when they get enough information, and if they decide to suspend Odubel Herrera, that'll be when he cannot report to the team at all without pay, like Addison Russell when he got his 40-game suspension for domestic abuse. And knowing that the MLB is really trying to crack down on cases like this, like Odubel Herrera's case and Addison Russell's case a couple years ago, so we probably will see a suspension or some form of punishment to Odubel Herrera for this arrest and for this case of domestic abuse. So, my opinion, I do think Odubel Herrera should be suspended because this is something that cannot go without punishment. He needs to learn a lesson, and I also think another punishment that the Phillies need to give Odubel Herrera is just to cut ways with him, because this is just unacceptable, and this is something that you do not want affect in the locker room. You do not want this kind of atmosphere going into the locker room, going into this team. So, I think the right way to do it is just, if he's suspended, just cut ways with him. Just cut ways with him, get him off the team, and I'm trying to say this with my bias against Odubel Herrera because I was never really a fan of him. I was never really a fan of his play because he kind of can be a hothead at sometimes. But I'm not saying this is like the perfect time to get rid of him. But it's probably one of the options that the Phillies have is to cut ways with him. It's to open up roster spots for more young guys. Like another article said from CBS that Scott Kingery is going to take more help of center field while Odubel Herrera is on administrative leave, and he'll probably be suspended. So it's going to give more time to Scott Kingery. And this will probably open up ways for another young guy who was just recently sent down, Nick Williams. He might get called up again to be the backup center fielder, or he might platoon center field with Scott Kingery. So we don't know what is going to happen as a result of this punishment that Odubel Herrera is most likely going to get. So, what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this story? What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this case with Odubel Herrera? What do you think the punishment should be? Do you think he should be suspended? Do you think the Phillies should cut ways with him? So, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, boys. And I will see you in the next video.